Brought to you by 1AAuto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet.
Hi, I'm Mike from 1AAuto. I hope this how-to video helps you out. And next time you need parts for your vehicle, think of 1AAuto.com. Thanks.
In this video, we're going to show you rear brake replacement on this 2003 Honda Odyssey, same as any 99 to 04 Odyssey. We're going to show you the right hand or passenger side. Obviously, you will always want to replace brakes for both sides. We show you one side, do the other side as well. Tools you'll need a new brake set from 1AAuto.com, jack and jack stands, a 19mm socket and breaker bar or your lug wrench, 12 to 14mm sockets and ratchet, a wire brush. You may or may not need a large C-clamp, and you'll need an impact driver and a hammer if the original screws are still in your discs. Lastly, a torque wrench to put everything together correctly. First, raise and support the vehicle, then use a 19mm socket and breaker bar. If you're just using hand tools, actually you'll want to loosen the lug nuts when the wheel's on the ground and the vehicle's in park. Loosen the lug nuts first, then raise and support the vehicle. Remove the 5 lug nuts and remove the rear wheel.
Okay, so we're in around behind the rotors. We've got 2 bolts. They're 12mm here and here. So I'm going to put a wrench on them. Hook another wrench on there for some extra leverage. And loosen them.
And just fast forward as we take them the rest of the way out. Now we're going to grab on the caliper and pull it towards the outside of the vehicle. Okay, as we pull it out, that forces the piston back into the caliper and then loosens it up and it comes right off, and then we can kind of prop it up in behind.
Okay, now we take the pads out just by pulling them out of their brackets. Sorry. And now we're putting a wrench on this 14mm bolt here. So we want to remove this one and then this one up here. These 2 bolts hold the caliper bracket on.
Just put a 14mm wrench on there, then hook a larger wrench onto it, or use a larger handle socket and ratchet. Loosen up those bolts and then remove them, and remove the caliper. Fast forward here a little bit.
Okay, so now we're going to use an impact driver. Okay, we're going to load that into the screw, and then you turn it counterclockwise, use a hammer, and give it a good whack, and it loosens up the bolt.
And just fast forward as we remove the screws the rest of the way. Then hopefully your rear rotor comes off as well. If not, you can use a hammer. Okay, now install your new brake rotor from 1AAuto, and then use the 2 screws. I'll fast forward as we put those back in to hold it in place. There's a small rubber plug you want to force out of the old rotor, and then just put it into the new rotor, press it in by hand first, then grab a screwdriver and push it in the rest of the way.
Okay, so before you reinstall the brackets, you want to use a wire brush and clean the stainless steel slides. Some brake pads actually come with new ones, so you either replace them or clean them up. Okay, and then you make sure that your bolt slides are free. If they're not free or have any too much, or they're too sticky, pull them right out, clean them up, and grease them.
Now take your brackets and put them into place. Start the 2 bolts on, and in a minute here I'm just going to fast forward as I get those, basically just get those bolts started and seated.
Okay, set your torque wrench to 45 foot-pounds. Okay, now you slide the outer pad in. Goes right into the slides. Okay, and then the inner one goes in the exact same way. Okay, now you'll want to take your caliper, use a large C-clamp, and make sure you reset the piston. As you tighten it up, the piston gets pushed back into the caliper. Usually, just by pulling on it at the beginning, you're able to reset the piston, but you just want to make sure. And then you can slide the caliper right on. And now put your 12mm bolts back in. Okay, and set your torque wrench to 20 foot-pounds and tighten them up.
Okay, now I'm going to fast forward, put the wheel back in place, start all 5 lug nuts on by hand first, and then just kind of preliminarily tighten them, and then lower your vehicle to the ground.
Now set your torque wrench to 90 to 100 foot-pounds and torque the wheel using a star pattern. Okay, whenever you've had the brakes apart, just make sure that you pump the pedal a few times, make sure it's nice and firm, and then before you road test your vehicle, just do test stops from 5 and 10 miles an hour just to make sure the brakes are working properly.
We hope this helps you out. Brought to you by www.1aauto.com, your source for quality replacement parts and the best service on the internet. Please feel free to call us toll-free 888-844-3393. We're the company that's here for you on the internet and in person.